Thôi. I've been doing that the whole time.
Tēnā koutou katoa, nau mai, haere mai, ngā tangata o te ao, ki wai o tapu, he taonga o Aotearoa. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Good, we're alive. Greetings and welcome to you all. Here to Waiotapu Thermal Wonderland, New Zealand's most colourful sightseeing area. My name is Jacob and it's been my pleasure welcoming you all here today and to tell you the story of Our Lady Knox Geysir. But before I begin, I must inform you all of some of our very important park rules. Now, for those of you who are going on to the main park after the eruption, please be aware that we are all in an active volcanic area. So for your safety, I ask you to please walk on the formed pathways, follow all the signs, and please at all times remain behind the barriers. They're there to protect you from bubbling hot mud, large collapsed craters and boiling water. And you may want to consider wearing good strong footwear for your walk. So about the 1800s, it was estimated that there were over 130 active geysers in this region. But by the 1970s, through natural developments and some of man's mismanagement, that number had reduced to 15. Our Lady Knox Geyser story begins some 100 years ago. About that time, not far from where you parked your cars this morning, was the site of New Zealand's first open prison camp. Prisoners sent there spent their days clearing this land of scrub and bush to prepare it for the planting of pine trees. And it was a group of those prisoners that came across this clearing. But what they found then did not look like what we see here today. What they found was a beautiful, large, clear hot spring with a ledge about so high. To get an idea, but on a much smaller scale, let's look at this rock formation here behind me. If you look closely, you can see a scraggly looking bush literally growing out of the rock. That is the manuka, or the New Zealand tea tree. And around its base marks what once was an old hot spring. Now 100 years ago, you can imagine prison life was rather primitive and our prisoners had no luxuries of life. So when they found this hot spring, they got an idea and thought, hey, let's use the hot water from this hot spring to wash our dirty clothes in, saving them the bother of chopping down trees for firewood to boil their own water. So one afternoon, that's exactly what they did. A group of prisoners came down here and started to wash their clothes here in the mouth of the geyser. As they dipped their dirty clothes in, pulled them out and soaked those dirty clothes up, put them back into rinse, what happened next was they got one heck of a fright, because this geyser here erupted, sending their clothes sky high, causing them to run off into the bushes half naked behind me. Thanks to those prisoners, we now know the soap that they used to wash their clothes sets off a chain reaction that will send this geyser here into a hydrothermal eruption. And that's how we recreate the eruption for you. But we don't use any normal soap. We use a special product called surfactant, a soap-like product that does the same job as the soap the prisoners used, but leaves no harmful chemicals in the environment and does no damage to Our Lady Knox Geyser here. So it takes a few minutes for the surfactant to take effect. But what's happening is, it's now making its way to a reservoir of water directly below my feet. It holds approximately 30,000 litres of water. This water is superheated to above 160 degrees and boils and churns away below my feet. This water is held down or suppressed by an upper cooler chamber of water that acts like a lid or a blanket holding down that superheated boiling water. The surfactant that I've added is now breaking surface tension in that upper cooler level of water, allowing the lower levels to surge up and come into contact with that cooler level of water. When those two temperatures mix, the water will flash into steam, and in a few moments' time, we will have our eruption. Now our geyser here is named after a lady, Knox, who in New Zealand history is not that important at all. But her father was. He was a Lord Ranfurly, and then he was also New Zealand's 15th Governor General. And in May of 1903, he was here inspecting their prison camp to see how those prisoners were getting along. And to mark the occasion of his visit, his daughter, Lady Knox, was given the privilege of soaping the geyser, and that's how the association comes about. Now, how did the geyser get this cone-like shape? Well, what the prisoners did was they stacked rocks around the scintillip to create this funnel or cone-like shape, which sends the water through a narrower opening, which sent their clothes even higher. And every time there's an eruption, water flows over this area here. Some of it may hang in the air and come towards you, but don't worry, it'll be cool to the touch with a slight soapy feel. And the wind and the sun evaporates that water, leaving behind the mineral silica, which is what is responsible for a beautiful white colour here. Now you can find geysers in 3 main areas of the world, the largest being Yellowstone National Park, USA, Kamchatka, Russia, and a small cluster in Iceland. And it was actually Iceland that gives us the name geyser, which simply means to gush forth. Now down here, these are called geysers, not geysers. I'm the geezer, this here is a geyser. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you for being here, Waiotapu. In a few moments' time, she will do her thing, get those cameras kicking, and have a great day. Kia ora, everybody.
Sympa, si tu essayais il va souffler. Il va souffler. Ouais, je crois que si je l'allumais, ce serait peut-être bien.
Il commence à s'énerver.
Super bien. C'est génial. Trop bien. Ça sent